get is getting Rafa gear. They're gonna hate it. The bottles,
Oh
everything.
my god.
You got to get it in like really ugly colors too.
The
That'd be
worst.
way to go.
The absolute
Yeah.
worst.
But it's like, man, this is a $900 jersey.
Something that will even piss off my school color-wise, because I know how much he loves the colors. Get something terrible. Get everybody something terrible. Absolutely the opposite of all of their bikes. Nah, it'd be,
Hang on,
just be lazy. Just be all black.
We got to reground ourselves.
Yeah.
To our this is our hangover episode.
Hangover episode.
Our,
That's gonna be the title. You
bike,
just said it. Boom.
Our bike hangover. Tell me, okay, Ed, give me your perspective on the event and when you showed up and what you showed up to. Was it chaos?
I mean, I basically showed up what I thought was like a decent time, but it absolutely was not, judging by the amount of people who were already in the parking lot and were everywhere on bikes. So I think I got there at like 4:30, and it was already jammed. And I was like, okay, I'm obviously late.
To be honest with you, though,
it was pretty ridiculous.
I got there like just before 2, I want to say, something like that, and it was already jumped.
You guys are already doing laps. Now, did they let you guys do practice beforehand?
Yep.
I'm not sure.
You can, as long as you're on the course when like another race is not going on, you can do as many laps as you would like.
Interesting. So that's what people showed up to do, is basically just kind of run it like beforehand, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Yep. You can just run it as much as you darn well please.
I love how it was like a legit event. Like, I mean, obviously they're all legit. I mean, don't get me wrong. But, I mean, we had people in like trainers in the parking lot just like revving up. And I was like, this is going to be good, you know?
I saw Tom on a trainer in the parking lot.
Hell yeah.
I was just going to say, yeah, that was me.
That was like, that's how you know it's going to be serious time. I was pumped, you know?
More like running a stopwatch on the beer tent, but yeah.
And fry tent. And fry tent. Fries are pretty good too, right?
We talk about
there were fries.
Food trucks.
How'd you not know there were fries?
God damn it. Nobody got me fries. I had a good sandwich.
I didn't eat, which is a sin because the food that was coming out of those 2 food trucks looked incredible.
Cardinal sin.
Oh, man.
Oh my god. That goat burger the guy got?
Yeah, you were like, what did you get, guy? And he's like, what? He's like, your food. He's like, oh, it's a goat burger.
I just remembered.
Goat burger?
It's a podcast. So, yeah, it's not like the literal meat of a goat.
I kind of wish it was.
People eat goat all the time.
I thought it was.
Like a cursed goat.
The greatest of all time. And, yeah, I know that they did, like, the guy was describing it to me. It was the burger, whatever cheese you chose, like bacon jam. And I want to say like a goat cheese, like something or other sauciness, and then just like brioche.
Yeah,
wow, that looked. Yeah, I couldn't. The thing is like single speed was still well ahead of me, and I guess like the food trucks sold out of food. Someone said, unless they just didn't want me to get in line in front of them.
Jeez, that's got to be harsh. You get out, you just get crushed.
We need for our listeners. I think we need like one of you to lay out like what the event is.
Oh, so people that actually don't know what this is. So
people actually, yeah.
All right.
I mean, of the 3 listeners that we have, one of them put it on. Like one of them was the event director, and the other 2
shut the mic
are us.
So hi, Mike.
Yes. Thanks. Honestly, that was a good. I'm really enjoying the fact that he's got like time to dedicate to like making these things as like awesome as they're going to be. So,
his events are great.
I can't wait. I can't wait for Secret Squirrel.
One of you 2, you can rock paper scissors for it. Like, give me the give me the long short of what this event is, what you guys both did there, all of that.
Go, Tom.
Woo! All right, so it is a cyclocross event. I know that so I'm dangerous with this because I haven't done a lot of racing. I haven't hung out at a lot of very competitive things in cycling most of my life. So it's like a fun cyclocross race. It's not like there's not like a person measuring tires and sock height.
I mean, I was doing that. But.
For fun, though.
We all silently judge. But for the most part, it was like a party, training race almost for like the serious types. I think this is my interpretation of it. So, Mike, if you're like just throwing things around the interior of your car right now, relax.
That's not what it is.
Yeah, no,
It's not it.
It's a genuine good time. Like cyclocross comes around every year in the fall here in New England. The three of you that listen know this, and it's an excuse to drink beer and act stupid on your bike, and it seems like it's a little more of a neutral ground where like the really fast people might hang out and watch the slow people's race. And like a lot of them even like cheered me on. That was cool in the single speed thing. But yeah, they had a beer like tent set up, a couple different local breweries, including that indie firm I was pumping a minute ago.
Get your beers there.
Couple food trucks, and then the real kicker was Mike asked us to move a thing, like a box thing, and I didn't realize it was a stage for a drum kit because they're gonna have like a real OBS Irish rock band playing as people were racing. It was pretty cool.
And I set up my little space directly in front of there, and he was like, "Hey, are you gonna set up in front of the band?" And I was like, "Probably should move. Thanks. Good looks."
Yeah, I had no idea these guys were a thing, but apparently, these folks were a thing.
It's good music too.
They're like a staple, I guess, because I ended up looking up like previous events. Apparently, I hadn't been to this one, and they're always there. They're called the Poorman, I believe.
Poorman.
The poor, like poor something.
Yeah.
That's
like
Riley's
poor
like, I get
beer.
I'm actually pretty convinced I saw them like 6 or 8 years ago in a bar in New Bedford one St. Patrick's Day. Like I'm pretty friggin' sure.
I think
that's probably pretty
all
likely.
of those members. Yeah,
that actually sounds accurate. Did you get in the pit at that point or what?
No, but I did race single speed to By the Rising of the Moon, like a few beers deep.
That's what I'm talking about.
Pretty okay as an Irish American.
New Bedford's not a bad time to like bike around. I mean, there's a shitload of construction now, and it's not like the most. I mean, there are occasional gunshots. I'm not gonna lie, but it's not like it's kind of fun. You're on a bike going faster than the bullets, I guess.
So back in the day, sorry.
No, that's all right. I was just gonna ask, like, because I don't know that we've defined cyclocross since.
Cyclocross is when roadies get bored and they want to be kind of mountain bike-ish, but they don't want to be in the woods, kind of, and still race and drink beer at the end.
It's rally cars with road bikes.
Ooh,
yeah, okay.
That's a good one. That's way better than mine. Also, it's less words, so it's better.
Unless you bring a tank, I guess. But, yeah.
I mean, you kind of did bring a tank.
Yeah, you did. So, yeah, describe
what the hell did you? Yeah,
the two
tell us
events
the
that you did, Tom.
Tell us what you did on this thing, by the way.
Yeah, describe the two events and the two bikes, because you brought. I mean,
who brings one bike to a race? What a fool!
Yeah, you could bring one and do, but anyway, yeah, go ahead.
All right, so I participated in a geared category during the day, which was, I believe, just called Novice Men, and it seemed like that skill range was completely open. I brought my Gorilla Monsoon to that because, of course, I did. I never shut up about it. Yeah, I'd always wanted to quote unquote race it. I've never done a cyclocross race in my life, obviously until that day. And yeah, I don't know. I was trying. It was pretty fun. I just kind of followed some people around. I started trying a couple laps in. I guess I don't mean to I don't know. I just kind of rode around. And my results reflected it. I finally got the email for the results, and I was like 3 people up from the very bottom. So, and then the real reason I went to the whole shebang actually was I got a Surly Moonlander, which is there's a whole story there as to why I bothered to get a completely outdated, obsolete. There's no reason to have this thing in the modern era.
You're an astronaut.
Why I got
that's
the
why.
bike. It sort of, but it showed up 4 days before the event, and there was a single speed category that I had signed up for, and had a little bit of a quarterback controversy in the fact that I didn't have a working single speed. So I
built one. Together,
yeah, with 30 seconds to spare, because luckily, because it's a Surly, it happens to have rearward facing dropouts.
Ooh, good. Oh, that's actually a sweet point.
So shout out to my man Johnny Mall, who hooked me up with a chain tensioner for that.
Shout out to Mall's Bike Shop.
Among some other things. A bottom bracket I haven't bothered to install yet, a Brooks You know, but
Typical
yeah,
bike shit.
yeah. So that was cool. The single speed event was, to me personally, like the most fun I think I've ever had on a bicycle.
Oh, okay.
Certainly at a race, I will say that.
Yeah, in general, I mean, I don't mean to like poo-poo
No,
on
go
all the
ahead.
serious race folks, but in general, I have always found that for cyclocross, the single speed / fat bike / mountain bike race is the more fun crowd to be riding with usually.
I think going forward after this experience, cyclocross in the non-serious categories, or whatever, however you want to word that, whatever you want to think of the categories Riley just listed, that's how I'm going to cap off my years. I think as many years as I'm allowed to, I'm going to have as much fun as I can being stupid at cyclocross events.
That's actually a good dedication.
That's the idea.
Dedicated point there. Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's and if you got to pick one thing, that might be it. I can't lie to you. If you're on the fence about trying cross, just try it. I don't know how to get back on the bike. It shows. There's like pictures of me on the Monsoon out there that I've seen that I did not order the licenses to, because it's like me like remounting as if I'm leaving the Pan Mass aid station. I ended up getting super scared of dismounting, so I practiced it like crazy, like I was riding around the backyard. Got halfway decent at it, and then just like, I don't know what I was thinking. I never got back on the bike, and I keep telling myself I better practice that, and I have yet to practice a single remount at this point. And Secret Squirrel's coming up, so
I mean, the remounts.
Describe Secret Squirrel to me.
Oh, I don't know. It seems like more of the same, except it's in the woods, which is actually why part of the reason I brought that giant fat bike was I thought that Crosstobeerfest, Mike's going to hate this. I thought that Crosstobeerfest was Secret Squirrel. I thought we would be up in the woods. And that's why I brought like a bike with like a 30/20 gearing on it, which is good for like 8 miles an hour, by the way. But yeah, what are you gonna do? But hey, you know what? I had a friggin' blast, and it seemed like a lot of people had fun just to see that ridiculous of a machine going around as well. And that was a real, honest to God, that single speed race was like a really special thing.
Now,
in my cycling whatever.
Did you pass anybody on that monstrosity? Like, was everybody like, Jesus? Like, did you?
A couple. Like there was some DNFs. I don't know what the reasons were. I did end up.
I'm pouring out one for my DNFs right now. Sorry, man. So I've been there.
I ended up riding with a really cool guy in the geared category. If he ever hears this, I believe his name was John. You were really cool. You kind of explained things to me. I was basically following this gentleman around, just asking, like, what do we do now? What does that noise mean? Like, I hear...
Go! It means pedal go.
Yeah, like, he was really cool.
Shout to John.
The single speed thing, one of the BC High kids was right in front of me. Never caught a name or anything, but, like, I ended up speaking to a few of them over the course of the day. Can't say enough nice about them.
Oh, I think I saw that dude with the bell.
Kids.
He was BC High bike with a bell. That bike was ridiculous.
They had a team out, and they were like wearing like plaid. They have kind of a funny kit. It's really neat. It looks like a school uniform. But this kid was having he was on a geared bike that was like somehow altered to be single speed. I don't know how that works. That's just part of the rules.
I saw that thing. It was weird. I loved it.
Yeah. So he
was stuck between two gears, which was terrible.
Oh, jeez.
So at one point, I ended up passing him because I'm pretty sure his drivetrain just stopped.
This is not what I want to do. Oh God!
With what was happening?
A lot of the time, what you'll see at these cross events is people will do like 2 or 3 of the races throughout the day, like Tom did doing the 2 of them. But a lot of the time they'll do it on. Yeah, a lot of the time they'll do it on just the one bike. And the way that they usually do that is they'll run it geared for, say, the Cat 4 or 5 or whatever, and then towards the end of the day for single speed. With the drop bar bikes, you can just zip tie the shift levers together.
They allow that. That's
so that
hilarious.
Yep. The ones up here, they'll let you do that, so that you can just kind of, if you zip tie it together, you're not going to be able to shift. So you just put it in whatever gear you're going to use, and then just zip tie your shifters. Make sure the zip ties are visible. They have usually they have I think it's called the Zancanado single speed series up here in New England.
That's a great name.
It's
Yeah.
it's a bike company, and basically they usually have like zip ties available, or you just find some zip ties somewhere, and make sure they're visible, and then you're running a single speed.
Legal. Done.
Yeah, somewhat legal.
UCI stamp.
Yeah, UCI. UCI
Approved.
seal of approval.
You got your socks at the right height. Don't worry though.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was
we won't dive into that. We'll do another episode about.
Yeah, man.
We need
I mean,
more.
It's been done. It's still been done at this point too. Yeah, UCI.
By the way, I think you guys need more sheeps. You need more Hermans. More
Herman
he
the
needs
sheep.
friends. He needs friends.
Yeah, you probably want to explain that.
Get like a goat.
That's... Riley, explain Herman the sheep.
Herman the
Kinda
sheep
got it.
is
'Cause
a
even I don't totally
mascot.
get it.
Yeah, Herman the sheep is a mascot that Trek and their apparel company Bontrager had around for when they released some wool socks and jerseys. This was 5-6 years ago. Yep, he was just kind of in some promo material for socks and jerseys, wool type of stuff, wool from a sheep, yada yada yada. And then I think Trek and Bontrager, the company, and just customers liked it so much that he has become kind of an official, unofficial Trek mascot that just kind of ambles around and every once in a while makes an appearance. And yeah,
They should step it up a notch. They should have a mountain goat for their climbing and
goat.
their mount and their he should be mountain
I don't
goat.
know. I don't think
Victoria
you can
stole
like
that.
what, the mountain goat.
Yeah, they got him, or they're like
Oh, dude,
ibexes or
Victoria.
something.
We'll be talking about Victoria later.
Ooh.
Those commercials are really good. And
What-
that's the
what
end of
commercials?
Did you guys see this
They
Victoria
have
commercials?
some YouTube commercials that are pretty good.
Let's see.
They really do. They're genuinely funny. And that's about all I have to say about Victoria. Their commercials are pretty funny.
The only one I saw that was funny was a Specialized commercial.
They've been doing some wacky ones. Yeah, they've always done had a soft spot for
The old guy
wacky
ones.
commercials.
It's really good.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
old guy ones that they've been
Yeah.
doing. Yeah.
They know their marketing. Like
Oh, yeah.
they've always made a
Yeah.
splash. That's for sure.
And they know their legal team. Anyway.
No,
Anyway.
all City's about to learn. all City's about to get hit with the old cease and desist. I hope that's what that colorway is.
Hey, we remember that
The
colorway.
cease
Oh
and
my
desist.
god,
That would be
hilarious.
great.
That would be pretty good.
That would be phenomenal.
I always forget the name of that Instagram store, but there is a guy who makes S porks.
Yeah,
for your
dear
friend.
Lord.
And that would be hilarious on that new monsoon. If I don't know how much of it made it in the episode, but
Begging for
All
a
City
cease and
just
desist.
All City just dropped some new colorways on the Gorilla Monsoon, and one of them is absolutely
One of them looks
awesome.
suspiciously similar.
awesome. The issue is someone else may or may not have designed it at least 25 years ago.
It's an homage.
And I'm gonna leave it at that because I love both companies.
It's an homage.
So yeah, it's an homage. Yeah, I guess it's definitely
Yeah.
cool. It makes me. That's the first time I've been like, well, I should have waited.
Nah, you shouldn't have
That's
waited.
always. I mean, you
It's
think
gonna
about.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna happen in life.
Always
That's
how it
why you end up with 14 bicycles. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, because
that's
I
about
should have
right.
got that one. I
Yep.
like this one.
Well, I'll get that one too.
Yeah, because that way you don't have to. Yeah, exactly. I don't have a bike like I can ride my other bikes down. I have a bike for every single discipline. I have a bike for cross disciplines. There you go.
My
Problem
first
solved.
tattoo might just say N+1. Yeah.
Ooh.
It
You have,
might.
you have to do it in like cool math cursive though. The formula writing, you know.
Yeah, or do it in something else that reduces to N+1.
Yeah. F
That's the
when
move.
when f of y equals yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
It's too late for that.
Are we?
Oh,
is
yeah.
that enough of a hangover cure for us? Are we feeling?
Oh, yeah.
yeah, cross is fun. You should try it. Try a bunch of categories at a.
I will say here are my
Semi-casual
two.
event
Here are my
has beer and
two.
food.
Yes, here are my two recommendations for cross races coming up. If you want to get into it, One of them is only 10 days from the day that we're recording this, so
10 days.
Hopefully this gets posted and you will hear.
Very stressful.
Yes. You better get on it. I haven't told you what it is yet, but you better sign up for it.
Go register.
Orchard Cross is a lot of fun. I think it's a little bit north of Boston. I don't remember if it's technically New Hampshire or Massachusetts, but
is it a haunted orchard?
No, it's not well, it is on the 31st. So
Ooh,
Is
could
it
be
an
cursed.
angry
It's cursed.
no, it's not an angry orchard. But you basically ride through like the apple orchard, like around the trees and stuff.
That sounds amazing, actually.
I had fun. I did on one lap pick an apple and take a bite out of it during the lap,
Wow.
and that was phenomenal. That was just great
How
to just
authentic.
be able to do that.
That's actually pretty awesome.
And they do
That is
have
pretty
a costume race, I believe as well. So you can like
that's
get all dressed up and whatever you want. And
What would
do
you be for a
wacky
bike costume?
race. We were talking about our last discussion was between like Tom, Jack, and I was dressing up as like Mario characters.
Oh, that would
I
be
think
hilarious.
I think I was gonna be Wario. Jack was gonna be Luigi. Tom, were you gonna be Mario?
I don't know.
I
I
don't
genuinely
remember.
don't remember. This is a long time ago.
No,
Now
maybe
it's
you were
clear-
gonna be Wario because
Hey.
you had the
Clearly
yellow, like the
Sonic
muddy
characters.
fox.
You can be Dr. Robotnik.
Yeah.
I'll be Sonic, and I'll slick my hair back and spray it blue.
Yeah.
And I'll carry some gold rings around that I can spill every once in a while.
The other one that I like that's coming up in the near future is Secret Squirrel. That's end of November.
It's a secret.
I'll be there. I will be
And
there.
that one's a lot more of a mountain bikey course. So any of you folks that are anyone who wants to try it but is also a mountain biker, that is the course for you. It's a lot of fun.
Get your ass out
and
there.
I believe I have been told, and someone has been trying to con me into. I believe they are doing a donut race again this year, which is cool.
Someone saw it on Bike Reg and signed us up for it. That's all I'm saying.
Us, whoever
You
us
and me.
is,
You
whoever,
and me.
whoever that may be.
Go to
I
Bike
wonder
Reg
what
right now.
I wonder what wild haymaker of a bicycle may show up for that event. That's all
Oh.
I'll say.
Okay. Okay.
It's still very much up in the air.
How far is that event?
How far?
Yeah.
Like away?
You mean like?
I mean, the distance. The donuts.
So it's the donut one. Most cyclocross is just structured based on time, and I believe the donut event is the same. But the donut event is obviously shorter. I want to say the donut one was like 20 minutes last time we did it. But usually a cross race is not measured on distance. It's going to be you have 45 minutes to race, and around the 30-minute mark, they post however many laps you have left.
Oh, okay.
Because they have a good idea of how many laps you've done and how long it's going to take you to do the last ones.
I love how you neglected to say any of this when I asked you if I should do a cross race, and you're just like, yeah, it's great, and then you hate it. And I was like, that sounds perfect. I'm in.
No,
It is.
I'll tell you what. I just wrote it, and it was a blast.
Yes, I mean you
was a
can
blast.
do that. If you push yourself, you're gonna be hating it at the end, because the thing about cross, like you think about like all the mountain bike races we do, right? Where it's like an hour and a half, 2 hours mountain bike ride. The cross is an all-out sprint fest for half an hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
If you're really like trying to like be into it, and
Or you
can-
could
that's-
just not apply yourself and have a ton
Yes,
of fun.
and it's a lot. I will say it's a lot easier to kind of take it easy on like the single speed race, because
I still haven't gotten the single speeds, and I'm like, oh god, it looks so much harder. It looks so much
actually,
fucking harder.
I don't care for single speeds, but they've found a place with me specifically in like every fall I'll turn something into a single speed because it was just fun.
So
it was just silly. It was good, silly fun.
It's single speed
it really
addict.
was. Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, so I need to do a cross race apparently.
And then I mean later in the
I'd say so.
season, you're looking at Ice Weasels is pretty cool, but that's a ways away at this point. So
I see.
keep your eye out for those. Those are my top 3 in general. From here.
Those names are fire too.
forward.
Oh my god, Ice Weasel,
Yeah.
Secret Squirrel, Donuts. What was the other one? Orchard.
Orchard Cross.
Orchard
Yep.
Cross.
Yep. Yep.
Now, I wonder what I would race. I mean, obviously the Gorilla Monsoon could probably handle all of it, but what if I get my other bike with the skinnier tires out? But I'm like, do I really look concerned about being faster, especially in the sand? Oh, waterproof.
Well, I mean,
tire.
the biggest thing with your other bike is the only one that's UCI legal.
Oh wait, why? Why?
Why do we bump into UCI at any of the ones we listed?
No.
Oh,
No.
meh.
Yeah. So around here, pretty much none of the cross events around here are USA cycling anymore. I'm sure there are some.
I'm not going to place anywhere near good enough for anybody to pull out a tape measure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Orchard Cross might still
believe
be
me.
USAC, but yeah,
Or
no
my
need to worry
socks
about that.
as
for
high
most
as I
of these.
want, basically.
Yeah. Watch out for your socks.
I'm going to get in super tuck the whole way.
Oh Jesus.
I'm gonna wear waders.
Oh, there was a shot to that guy in the onesie. Oh
Yeah.
my god!
Guy in a onesie.
Yes.
Oh my god! He looked like a wrapped president. It was the funniest
Yeah.
thing I've ever seen in a while.
I want to say it was like white with pink polka dots,
Oh,
maybe.
it was glorious. Yeah, I have a picture of it
They were
somewhere.
small polka
Dear.
dots, though. Yeah, it was like
It was blinding.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah. He went by me at one point.
The
He
night-
seemed pretty serious, actually.
he did seem
Ironically.
pretty serious, actually.
Yeah.
For a man dressed like
He was
that.
definitely strong. Like went by me like a big rig goes by you on a motorcycle. I'll put it to you that way.
Dude, that's a good point. I did see some monster pulls late in the race by people, and I was like, this dude is still cooking at like maximum velocity, right? Or this woman is still flying basically at like max heart rate, right? Like it was ridiculous.
That's
to
the
see
other
some
thing
of the
about
people in
cross
there.
is it's one of the most spectator friendly disciplines of cycling out there
Oh, dude, you're right there.
because
you know?
everyone's just kind of riding circles around the spectators basically.
One of the guys
So-
I was next to got spit on by a guy, like not by on purpose, but it was like, he's like, oh, I should get spit in the face, and I was like, haha, that's hilarious. I mean, it would have sucked if it was me, but it sucks
Yeah.
for that guy. Yeah, fucking batch
Oh,
of COVID
jeez.
right in the mouth. Ugh, fuck it.
No,
Lucky
no.
mouth. Oh, that was a great. Yeah, you could be basically in the pit, which was kind of cool.
Oh yeah. That was
Yeah,
pretty
that's not normal for events. I will say that. The
neat.
fact that
Whatever. You know what?
the fact
It's
that
really
the pit
neat, Mike.
became such a spectator zone was pretty cool,
I
It
feel
was,
like
it was really neat.
but not necessarily intentional.
yeah, there was drones flying around. I'm assuming it was video guy flying his drone everywhere.
Yes,
I haven't seen
video
that video.
man.
Is that done yet? I want to see.
I don't think
that.
I've
I
seen
don't
that
think
one
so.
yet, no.
Yeah, I don't think
It's
so.
gonna
As
be
of
a good one.
recording anyway.
It's gonna be
Yeah,
a
I
good
mean,
one.
Probably.
give him a little bit. Give him a
It
little
takes
Some of that
time.
drone footage, the eagle-eyed amongst you, I don't know if it'll make it in or not, but some of that drone footage, whether he cuts it or not, definitely has me and like the 6 people around me breaking the fourth wall as I'm like pointing, like, is that a drone?
like
So,
like a
watch for
Simpsons
that-
character.
that
Look at
video.
that
You
thing in the
didn't-
sky.
You didn't just like flip it off.
Oh no, I learned my lesson on, you don't want to set those precedents. You know what I mean? You don't want to.
He needs the
Those
blur.
are risks you don't want to take.
He
Yeah.
needs the blur filter now to get that thing taken
Yeah.
care of.
Yeah.
Oh no! Also, the weather was perfect. The sunset was.
It
like,
was. It
Oh
was.
my god.
It was a
ridiculous. You know?
much warmer day than I expected.
I-
It was
I
cool
made
to see
the
you guys
joke to
race into the
someone.
night too.
Oh yeah, I made the joke to someone during the day. I was like, I thought this race was supposed to be in October.
Yeah.
Because it was a good like 76 to 78 degrees,
Global warming.
clear as a bell. And so, yeah. Unfortunately, for like 2 weeks in October, it gives you really nice
This
weather.
would be the coldest. This would be the coldest summer, October of the rest of our lives.
Yeah. Yep.
Probably.
Yep.
You notice now too, it's like it's 60 until Christmas, and then all of a sudden it's like 4.
Yeah, I don't like the 4
Yeah.
part,
Yeah,
This
and
isn't
March
the
is
climate
just like-
change podcast.
It's an inconvenient.
But it
life
can't-
talk,
Climate
right?
change doesn't exist.
but it can
An
be.
inconvenient lift talk.
An inconvenient lip talk. No, that'll be our next episode.
An
That's every
inconvenient lift talk.
episode.
An inconvenient lift talk.
That might be this episode's title. I think. I'm just throwing it out there. I think I got it. I think I nailed it.
I'm writing that down.
I knew it.
Are we? Is our hangover cured now?
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Because
What else you wanna talk about?
we had other stuff we wanted to talk about, but yeah, you know what? I'm doing it. We're
Do it. Do it.
We're
Do it.
we're going to bike court.
Oh, we're back in court,
We're
baby.
going to bike court.
Someone paid their
Uh-oh.
retainer,
All rise.
huh? Your gavel time.
Does that sound like
All
a gavel?
rise.
Kind of did actually.
Yeah.
I was like, did he buy a gavel for this?
Yeah.
Respect.
That sound okay.
This is the segment where Riley's about to attack me, no matter what the subject is.
Someone's going down.
I've got my robes on now. I have my I don't know who my bailiff is. I think it's Ed.
I'll be a bailiff.
Okay.
I'm the
cool.
defendant.
I am putting on trial quote unquote specific components.
Oh.
Right? So I have seen, and this has been just a thing that has become more and more common every day, it seems like, gravel specific components, e-bike specific components. I saw one that I'm going to show you guys that really pissed me off the other day, and that's going to be my pièce de résistance,
Your coup de grace.
my coup de grace. But yeah, I'm putting those monikers on trial because they're dumb.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, only
All right,
for
that's
gravel.
it. Here. Sentenced. There. All right.
You're hereby sentenced to shut the hell up, and you need to remand yourself to the court immediately, or face a bench warrant.
And I think we touched on this last week, or whenever was that? A month ago.
3 weeks ago.
Last whatever. Tom, you mentioned e-bike specific components.
I did. However, there's a utilitarian reason for some of that. I'll put a pin in that. Finish your argument.
No. I would like to say that there are some components that can be specific to, say, e-bikes versus non-e-bikes, or even
they need to
like
be in the case of some e-bikes.
say like a gravel drop bar, right? If that's a gravel specific drop bar, I can kind of see that. All right.
Yeah. If it makes a roadie cringe, it's a gravel drop bar.
The ones that I am talking about are, I have seen e-bike specific saddles, I have seen e-bike specific tires, and I'm done.
Semi-valid, depending.
Somewhat valid. However,
I mean, you're putting a lot of torque in those things.
However, you can also just call it a thicker tire.
Yeah, I think
it doesn't need to be.
You know what it is, Riley? It's that you need something for the drop-down menus online. You need to drop down to e-bike, select all your e-bike accessories. It makes it easier to categorize.
I get why it's an quote-unquote e-bike specific tire, but it can also just be like a tire.
Schwalbe themselves print the word moped on Class 3 e-bike tires. So, yeah.
Class 3, huh?
I guess,
I want to show you.
Are my Maxis is Class 2?
30 mile an hour or 28. But trust me, it's faster than you really want to go on a bicycle.
It's like a speed
rating.
rating.
In all objective truth. Like, it gets a little sketchy.
Gets a lot of sketchy.
How about this, too? We have, I think Shimano came out with GRX, and they declared it the first official gravel bike group set.
Yeah.
When in reality, they just like make XT not compatible on purpose.
In reality, SRAM had a gravel group set for the last 5 years.
Every group set's a gravel group set if you're smart enough.
Yeah, I thought that. See, that's actually kind of a good point. Like, I mean, what doesn't it more matter of like just slapping tires on your bike and basically getting out there? There's no. I mean, obviously there's like race specific, I guess, but like for most people, it's like this does this, and I'm like, run what you brung, like take it out there and don't be a chump. You know what I mean? Like
the e-bike specific saddles really rub you the wrong way, because it's. I don't understand.
You have bigger asses than the regular.
I guess.
That's just marketing.
And your gigantic
And the
balls.
other one, I want to show you guys this. Do I have sharing?
Specific. Yeah, let me see.
Do I have
multiple participants can share simultaneously. Okay.
How do I do that?
Advanced sharing.
I will say, while they're figuring this out, though, e-bike specific drivetrain components are actually something you want if you are interested in an e-bike. I know we probably mention it every episode, but just in case there's any new listeners, I work professionally on e-bikes for a living. I sell them. I service them. Yeah. I mean, I do. It's what I do.
There's my share screen. I got
5-0.
But your drivetrain components. Yes, e-bikes 508.
Gotta flex.
Not actually a plug. It's just if you're wondering why the gravel hipster suddenly starts rattling off stuff about e-bikes. I like all bicycles.
It's
That's
because
really
he's
what
an
it boils down
e-bike
to.
hipster.
I am, I guess, which is it just means everybody hates it.
Throwing
Being an
avocado at
independent.
him.
Yeah.
Throw
Yeah, it's
it-
like being an independent these days. But anyway, your e-bike specific drivetrain components, what you want to avoid on an e-bike is shifting that sweeps cogs. In other words, when you come to a big hill on a regular bicycle and you drop 3 or 4 gears, rapid fire, like in one push of a shift lever, that is the kiss of death to an e-bike drivetrain, because you got to imagine that you are the power that's actually making it to the back of the bike is as if you and Brock Lesnar were riding a tandem together.
I want to dive a little.
You want to shift 1 gear at a time, and the group sets that fire off 1 gear at a time are a good thing on an e-bike.
So let's
End
dive a
of
little
defense.
deeper into that. Let's dive a little
Sure.
deeper into that, because
Sure.
we have SRAM. When a company goes to SRAM and says, "I want to put your parts on an e-bike," SRAM says, "Okay, but we're going to sell you this e-bike specific shifter that can only shift 1 at a time."
Mhm.
All right, makes
And
sense.
it ain't that bad, by the way.
So
It's just not. Yeah.
That's all right. So they have an Eagle shifter, Eagle, et cetera, et cetera. Now, at the same time, they have an e-bike specific 8-speed mountain bike group that covers a similar range. I think it's a 10 to 42, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
They do or they did. I haven't seen it in
I
some time.
believe they do. I
remember
have
seeing it in
actually-
like 17.
I have actually never seen it spec'd on a bike.
I've
So
seen
my
it.
question is,
years
It
ago.
exists.
what is that?
Yes, correct.
Like, why is it out there?
I would say that in personal experience from riding them, it's actually a group set that makes sense from someone who objectively tried e-bikes and got to, recognize the specific quirks of a bicycle with a motor assist. And I say this because you definitely, and these are the attributes of that drivetrain that it had when I saw it. You have larger steps between individual cogs. You have less cogs because, let's be real, with the motor, you don't need to constantly manage your cadence 1 or 2 teeth at a time. This thing would jump like 4 to 6 teeth a gear. And it only had, I believe it was 8 speeds at the time I saw it, believe it or not. And Riley's absolutely right. It covered like a 1042 or a 1242 something. And it would fire off this particular gear set. I want to say it was called EX1. I could be wrong.
Exactly.
But it would vary. Even the mechanics of the shifter were different. Like this thing fired off a gear like there was no butter to this system at all. It was like
It was the AK-47 of bike drive.
Yeah,
trains.
it was like a 3 on the tree is what it felt like. But the idea is basically, the motor carries me through 1 gear. All right, I need another one. But realistically, if this was a normal cassette, I need 3.
It still exists. This drivetrain still exists.
It's just not on
It is
bikes.
Just haven't seen it. Yeah.
Is an 11 to 48 tooth cassette.
Oh, you got it. There you go.
Why doesn't it exist? Why isn't it anywhere?
I think because they realized they could get away with an NX shifter that only fired 1 gear at a time in either direction, and then just use regular NX
It was cheaper.
derailleurs and cassettes with e-bike specific chains,
So, Tom,
which are
if you were
basically
to
a
see-
heavier chain. Yeah.
If you were to see 2 bikes in front of you, the rest of the bike is exactly the same. It's a mountain bike. One of them comes with EX1, 8-speed. One of them comes with a, say, GX Eagle with the e-bike shifter. Which one are you going for?
Me personally,
Yeah.
after seeing, it's really nothing I've experienced personally. It's more seeing what some people manage to do to their e-bikes. I'd go with the e-bike specific drivetrain. In other words, I know technically they both are. I would go with the less range for the sake of a all steel cassette.
Honestly,
and
the
correct-
range is
the
pretty
correct
damn
jumps.
close. 11 to 48 is versus 10 to 50 it's pretty damn close.
And really, the motor is giving you all the extra oomph lower gears would be making up for. So that extra 50 to 51 teeth versus 48, you ain't gonna feel it.
It's like asking the mechanic what car to drive.
Why is it then,
sorry.
Tom, Tell me in your expert opinion.
I actually like this though because this is not an honest conversation that's being had in cycling. So yeah, this is cool. I like this.
So why is it that this e-bike specific drivetrain is not being spec'd on anything and the 12-speed one is?
Well, like all things, it could be something to do
Cost.
with right now.
It's cost. It's cost.
No, it could be something to do with availability, man.
Well, I mean, think about
I'm
it.
seeing some.
You have to manufacture heavier
I'm
components,
looking
right?
at the retail price for this cassette is pretty nuts.
What is it?
Well, I want to say it was like all steel is the other thing. Like this thing is actually like overbuilt, if I remember.
I bet you're onto something with supply chain stuff too, where it's
It's just
listen
it's
to this.
affecting everything.
The largest 5
my
sprockets.
giants are coming with microshift now.
But this is even like even pre-pandemic, I have legitimately
seen this
like
thing, yeah.
yes, exactly.
All right, so-
It's a unicorn drivetrain. I feel
It's
like
kind of sick though. Look at this thing. It's machined from a billet steel.
in a place that only deals with e-bikes and the e-mountain bike crowd we seem to foster, which is more or less entirely moto people because with a few exceptions here and there, a few crossovers, but moto people on e-bikes who are not cyclists first, you want that drivetrain and you want that all steel cassette. I'll say that.
So with your e-bike brands that you have been working with, are there any that are speccing this drivetrain?
No, and I guess sorry to complete my thought. That's the case for this drivetrain. I think the reason you do not see it around is because in the grand scheme of things, most e-bike customers are my customers. Ironically enough, if that makes sense. Like most e-bike customers are probably just people with expendable income that wander into a bike shop, kind of half looking at something and see that there's a bike with a motor. And it's just like all the other ones. And it's also a cost thing. I think Ed said that to his credit. I think he yelled that in as we were kind of going back and forth. Like, why spec a whole drivetrain when you can spec a shifter?
Yeah, that's
why
true.
Produce another drivetrain when you can just you probably realistically, if I had to imagine, you probably take a component of that shifter away.
Yes.
To make it fire one gear at a time.
Probably right.
Like you probably simplify the shifter by doing it. So like it probably just behooves them cost-wise to not do this.
Yeah, I mean,
and maybe there was just no demand. Maybe OE. There's a million reasons it could be. Maybe just the OE manufacturers, or excuse me, the demand wasn't there by the bike companies. You know what I mean? Like SRAM made this thing, and we don't need it.
Look at that thing.
Yeah. I do think you hit the nail on the head with
look at those jumps.
Yeah, it is.
Also, look at this.
Huge
Look at this.
jump.
Also, I'm gonna be the first guy to put this. Yeah. I'm gonna fucking put this on my goddamn regular mountain bike. I'll never
as a cyclist.
break my fucking derailleur again. Do you see this shit? Do you what?
Nah, those are prototypes. Those are like in the raw prototypes. The one I saw was finished. It looked like a SRAM.
There you go.
Damn it.
If you can't see it, I don't know if Ed is like showing the camera view or not.
I'm so disappointed it's not that thing. Look at how beefy that thing is.
It looks like a GX derailleur. It just says EX1 on it. That's all.
So I wonder if I just put this on my mountain bike and just never fucking break my drivetrain ever again, and I can treat my shifting like I beat the shit out of my NX right now and just dump all the way down.
I think it's an interesting. I think this is an interesting like. This discussion is an interesting thought experiment in understanding how the industry works, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
This would be a hell of a bike packing drivetrain. I'll say that.
Oof.
Yeah.
Well, for a regular bicycle, how can it not be the most reliable thing on the planet?
That's like my exact point. Like if you're really about free ride, like get a beefy drivetrain and just go.
Well, so Shimano kind of followed suit this past year by releasing basically e-bike versions of all of their mountain bike drivetrains.
Yeah.
Well, releasing pictures of them.
Well, yes,
yeah.
It's creating hype.
But I think it's interesting to think about this. One of the things that I have noticed, and I think Tom, you hit the nail on the head talking about like the OEMs, and one of the things that OEMs love to do is simplify, right? So if they can if they can take only one part and stock only that one part for all of their bikes as opposed to two, they're going to do that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And
if they can order a buttload of GX 12 speeds as opposed to half a buttload of GX12 speeds and half a buttload of EX1s,
So
then
much
they're going to
easier.
do those GX12 speeds. I think the other thing that is interesting to think about is like when you, I think Tom, you are in the minority when you are saying that looking at the two bikes, a 12-speed and an 8-speed e-bike, you would pick the 8-speed. I think most people not necessarily knowing the difference as deeply as you do are going to say, why wouldn't I want more? I'm going to go for the 12-speed. So I think from a marketing and sales perspective, they're always going to want to spec the 12-speed because all else equal, most customers are going to go for that.
Yes, and over the course of my life, since I was about 15, I must have said this 10,000 times to various strangers. What you're really looking for in a bicycle is gear range, not necessarily an amount of speeds. And every single person's eyes have rolled when I said it.
No, it's the truth.
But yeah, so that's. And
I think
know
there's
that
a
technically I'm
distinction
picking-
there, though. There's a distinction there as you are someone who comes from the mountain bike side of things. That is
that's
indeed the
fair.
case. On the road bike side, I know that having those there's nice tight gear steps, as much as it pains me to say, does matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been running like mountain bike cassettes on road bikes basically since, not necessarily as a rule, but I've been unafraid to do it since 9-speed, just because back then the shifting was compatible with mountain derailers. Because it's like, why wouldn't you want more range? That's just how I've always thought of it.
And
I can
I've
do
always
more
been in the
things
same
with more
boat,
range.
but that's as you have to understand. Like our perspective is like as mountain bikers versus like
yes,
someone who's actually like riding on the road with a group. And every once in a while, when I'm riding mine on the road, I'm kind of like shifting in between two gears, like, oh, I can't quite hit the right cadence here. So anyway,
it is more pronounced in a group. I'll say that. The disparities between your gears individually. I run into that a lot with my mountain bike drivetrains on drop bar bikes.
I liked that. That was a good discussion.
A+.
Yeah,
But
happy to give honest, experience-based opinions on e-bikes anytime I can.
On a very special edition of Bike
I
Club.
have one
You
more.
learn to love.
One more
You
specific
don't have to love them.
component.
They just are.
One more component that is specifically made for a certain discipline. And this one made me mad. So I'm going to share it with you right now.
Let me see this. Let me see.
Okay. The first official
Sierra with the spelling.
country
Down
mountain
country.
bike tire.
They've been making
So
those
this
Can
for
you
a while.
explain to me what downcountry
This
is?
is hang on. This is a downcountry specific mountain bike tire. So downcountry, they explain it right here. This tire looks to blend cross country and trail performance for the ultimate downcountry cocktail.
Oh my
So
god!
basically-
Why do we need so many friggin' names for everything?
I love the guy who wrote this.
So basically, downcountry is the new like trail/XC terminology. And I will say, I mean, downcountry sounds snazzier than just saying trail/XC.
It's amazing how the worse you are at actually riding a bike, the more the vocabulary and amount of disciplines expands.
Wow, big slam.
Oh, hot take. Hot take. I love it. You love to say
I
it.
will say, so like I had the Salsa Spearfish, which in general is classified as a downcountry bike, and that is my style bike. Like I have a soft spot for downcountry because it's my kind of bike.
I love where it's coming from. I just think it's silly that
Your
we
Deadwood
need
is a
to name it.
downcountry bike.
My Deadwood is a Deadwood. That's what it's
It's a
called.
downcountry bike.
Okay.
Yeah, the Deadwood.
bike.
I had the Deadwood. It was a downcountry bike,
It's
basically,
just-
too, right?
But
Downcountry
ironically,
bike,
like suspension-wise, it's just an old 29er XC full suspension bike.
Plus
It's just a bike from
size.
2006
Plus size.
with big tires on it. Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
thick.
I mean,
Anyway.
they're the trail bikes of 2014, is what these downcountry bikes are.
Yeah.
Sure.
So the tires are just
yeah,
slightly
I
less
thought
knobby and a
that-
little faster.
Well, yeah. So I don't know if this means that we have to, because this is the first. It's the first. Listen to this. The first official downcountry mountain bike tire ever. Okay. No other company has thought to
I
make
can
this
make
tire.
I can make the first official of something by just claiming it.
Maxxis
yeah.
was making down country tires in 1998.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing that out there. Shout out
But
to
I
Maxxis.
think this means that we have to go out and rename all of those Maxxis tires. I think we have to relabel them as
DCs.
down country.
DC.
You know, the other thing
Maxxis
that I liked
DCs.
about this is, look, they even label it as
Dern
Dune
Kutra?
Country.
Are you serious?
Dune
Are you serious?
Oh, God.
Hold on. I'm gonna tag them in a fucking Instagram post pic. Are you guys?
Well, you just know this thing's as hard as a garden hose, too. I mean,
What am I riding on? It feels
tell
like
me more
metal.
about how great this thing is in wet, loose soil.
But it's made out of graphene.
Which
Sure,
will
what's
still
that?
get
I'm
flat.
pretty sure I bought a fishing rod that was made out of graphene.
No, it's from my pencils. I drew
And
on
you know what that was? Hard and slippery.
Oh.
So anyway, this was the one that really like got me going here. Was
Grinds my
this
gears.
down country specific. Yeah.
So it's basically just a faster rolling, harder tire.
It's just a tire that's been made by every company on the planet that they just relabeled something else. For those who want to buy this tire, this is the Vittoria Sierra.
Visibly, it's a
it's-
Maxxis icon.
It's available
With a
That's
little more
good.
side knob on
That's
it.
actually
With a little more
accurate.
side knob on it. No,
wherever
that's what it is.
Vittorias are sold. It's 29-inch.
It's only 2.4.
Only 2.4.
Only.
Available
That's it.
late November.
The size no one wants.
And it's a Vittoria. So
It's available in too small for this bike and too big for that.
Did you see what that said? Scroll down.
which part?
Oh.
Scroll down. Scroll down. Scroll down. Keep going. Right there.
I'm really
Where?
screwing us out of the Victoria
Which
Graphene.
bit?
sponsorship, huh?
Graphene is used in Vittoria's tire range, including the Vittoria Mazda I reviewed last year, to create the brand hopes a silver bullet of performance. Are you killing a werewolf?
imagine-
Are you killing a werewolf with performance?
I can't imagine.
I don't know.
understand.
I don't know if I've
Side
put-
protection.
I don't know if I've put cycling journalists on blast
That's gonna be
in
the next bike court
in bike court before. I feel like
You want
I
me to
have.
do that?
right now.
Sometimes, I mean, some of them are phenomenal. Like, some of the writing from them is just awesome. But sometimes I come across
Stuff like
ones
this.
that just
At
make me
least,
sad.
at least gnarly and its variants seem to have.
All right,
died
listen.
down.
Let's break this down. A silver bullet of performance. Wouldn't that mean like it's killing your like?
Snake oil.
I don't know. Yeah. Boom.
Yeah, don't
it's-
think about it too much.
So guess
Magic
who's
potion.
never sponsoring
Yeah.
us? I guess. Shit.
Yeah, we can blame me for that. That's okay. But hey, Panasonic, though, if you're listening.
no, that was fun. I enjoy ragging on any company.
They deserved it anyway.
The,
They spelled it
I mean,
Sierra.
We already wrecked our Rafa sponsorship deal.
Yeah, I know. Why'd you have to put a
are you
Y?
kidding?
Why'd you have to put a
Once
Y?
they see my picture, we're in.
We're in. Boom.
Um,
One of those guys
so-
like Brad Marchand.
so I made a joke about Panaracer there, but I am in no way, shape, or form sponsored by Panaracer. But if you do your research, if you know how to dig into the About Us category on a website, all the best tires made by Panaracer.
Dude, I have the Gravel King
Signed, sealed,
SKs.
delivered. Yep.
SK Pluses. They're
They-
fucking
they
awesome.
make everything. But they make I don't even know if I'm supposed to do this. They make Soma tires. They make Rene Hearst's casings.
Oh, do they,
They make-
really?
They make Ultra Dynamico's casings.
Oh, he's blowing shit up
Um,
right now. Fuck, I love
Oh
it.
my
convinced-
god!
This man cannot be
I'm
stopped.
Redacted. Beep, beep.
I'm convinced they're
Redacted.
somehow involved with Terravale.
Ooh.
Shout out to Simworks, who literally has their tires as a Simworks by Panaracer.
Ooh.
but yeah,
admitting it
No,
straight
seriously, don't sleep on Panaracer. I know when you hear the name, you think of that old Firecross thing that looks like a saw blade.
I used to run one of
Nice
those.
tires. Nice tires.
up. Tell you,
I-
Gravel King
it's-
SK Pluses, baby.
It is
Yep.
interesting, however, that like I'm gonna say this, and you might disagree with me.
Uh-oh.
In my experience, Panaracer's treads are not phenomenal.
I mean, it's
I've
more of a
never been a huge
yeah,
fan of their treads.
like a speed pet
Yeah.
more tread.
The actual company or just in general? Like
The actual
what-
company. So like
Yeah.
like all those companies you just kind of named off, like I love the treads on all of those brands,
they are
but
pretty decent.
but when I go back
Dece.
to like the Panaracer, even the Gravel Kings from Panaracer, I have heard a fair amount of people complain about them kind of throwing gravel all over the place. Like they just
Well,
kind
they're
of
just
throw it
square
up in your
knobs.
face.
Yeah.
Like they just don't care.
Yes.
Sorry, I couldn't resist that. I love mine, but
that's
I've
my
definitely put a hole in one, at one point. I blame Riley for. I blame myself for following Riley down that rocky trail.
Wait, where
Well,
was
they're very
that?
soft. Yeah.
Yeah,
When did we do that?
it was I think it was a while back. We went down some gray rocks, and I was like, "These are chunky rocks," and you're like, "Let's just send it." And I just got a flat, and we had to put a tube in it. But I mean,
Was
it held
that
up.
was that out in Fairhaven?
Yes,
Yes.
that was funny. And I do have Terravales on it now, but I kind of want to go back to like a thinner, faster rolling kind of tire.
Oh, blah,
Although honestly,
blah.
these
I don't know
are
about thinner,
good
but
for basically
faster
everything.
rolling.
Yeah. God damn, I have to get this bike back going again. This fucking Merlin. Sorry,
Yeah, you do.
on a personal moment.
Merlin.
I mean,
Oh,
as
I
much
think
as I love the All City, the gearing is. I'm basically spinning it out every time I ride it now. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
You
What do you
just
got for
get a bigger chain ring.
What do you got for chainring on that?
I don't know actually. That's sad. Google it for me, Riley.
Very sad. What am I googling?
Gorilla 2018 Gorilla Monsoon.
I
I
don't
think it's a
know.
3060. It's Apex 1. What is it?
36 sounds about right.
Yeah.
I have mine at a Wolftooth 36, and it's a 1146 Shimano cassette.
Wolftooth makes
and I
good
wish-
stuff.
Yeah, they really do. I wish I could. I'm thinking about going bigger on the front ring and then lower on the granny to keep the 10 tooth drop.
Ooh.
I like the low end of my Monsoon, but the high end I want for a little more on the street. I'm just being honest.
Yeah. Although I don't think I can go too much bigger up front. I don't think I'd have the spacing for it, honestly.
I think it's either 38 or 40 if you run it as a one by. They don't mention anything about throwing an old 4-bolt crank on there and running a ring in the outside position or throwing some spacers in the. That bike's got an external bottom bracket, man. You're not.
Oh, here's one.
You're not painted into a corner.
Yeah, that's actually a good
Let me just
point.
say. Go ahead.
I just had my brain jogged. I want to talk about
Let's go back to
new-
bike court.
Specialized Crux.
Oh, why?
Let's
What about
talk
it?
about the new Crux.
Riley's pissed
I
about
ain't
the
even
Crux.
seen it. I haven't even seen it.
For those of you who don't know what the Crux is,
For those of you who
It
have
is
not
a
been paying
focal
attention,
point between.
the Crux is specialized cross, with that underlined, cross bike that they have been running as a cross bike for the last 10, 15 years, maybe
I'm
longer.
gonna go with 15. They had them when I was like a kid. At
it's
Silver
been a
City.
while. Yeah.
Yeah, it might even be longer than that. Now, they decided to
The
release
forks used to fall off those too.
what?
Yeah, the first. Oh no, sorry. That bike I'm talking about was called the Tri-Cross. It had this crazy socket fit carbon leg
Oh
fork,
yes, yeah.
and they just
yeah.
stuck the steerer like a 1/4 inch into the crown of this thing, and they would just boop, like a Lego pop right off. Anyway, sorry. Continue.
Anyway,
Anywho,
so about a week or two ago, Specialized decided to release the new Crux.
Gorilla Monsoon.
Now,
Whoops.
they made the frame lighter. They did XYZ. It's awesome.
XYZ.
Yes.
Holy shit.
XYZ. Guess how they marketed it? They marketed it as a light gravel bike.
What the hell's that mean?
it means
What's
a
a light
cross
gravel?
bike.
That just means it's a cross bike that they'd rather call a gravel bike because they know it's going to sell better that way.
Think
He's
so?
right.
You think so? Yeah.
Yes,
That's what it is?
100%.
it's a cross
100%.
bike.
That's actually
But
all
hilarious.
marketing.
every post I saw, every news article was
It's
calling it
not
a gravel
cross.
bike.
It's not cross. It's not
How
cross.
can? Yeah,
They
but-
have a gravel bike. They have a Diverge.
yeah,
It's a light-
50
this
minutes
is-
ago you were
gravel bike.
explaining-
This is a light gravel
50
bike,
minutes
though,
ago you were
Riley.
explaining down country to me. It's all. It's just words.
What is this?
It's light gravel.
It's just words.
It's like the
Stupid words.
you know the gravel that doesn't have the big potholes and it's like, oh, this is nice. It's like that.
It's just a dirt road.
Just dirt.
So yeah, that was another one that got me.
Some
that got me
slammed stem
going
on
the other day.
that bitch though. Look at it. Oof. Seeps
I mean,
right up
it
your
is-
ass. Look at it.
It looks like it's a
Ooh,
huge,
baby.
it's a great.
Do you see this?
I mean, it's a-
See the weight limit? Go back up. What did that say?
Oh,
It's a fucking weight limit. A sensible 125 kg weight limit.
that's a lot.
This is the first time I've seen a weight limit rating on a
125
fucking
kg.
bicycle.
a
Yeah,
kilogram is
some-
2.2 pounds. So what are we talking? 260?
Oh yeah, that's actually probably,
125,
that's a big boy.
260,
bad.
270. I mean, hey, listen, you know what? All that stuff is there just to screw you out of a warranty. On anything.
You're
Limited
100%
cycling.
correct.
You know what? Just, avoid the obvious stuff. If you're a particularly heavy rider, avoid like radial laced wheels.
Maybe avoid a
Get
bike
something with
manufacturer who's got a
low speed,
reputation
yeah.
for stuff that's been breaking lately, potentially. You know what I mean?
Get yourself
like,
some 36 3-cross wheels and a steel frame, and you'll be fine.
Ooh, look at that seat, though. Look at that seat. Go back up.
Ooh, fancy 3D printed and stuff.
Generative design. It's so air. Look at that. Everything it has on me has airflow. Oof, look at that. Just fart right through it. Boom. Vents it back to you in like a chemtrail kind of thing, you know? Suck my wheel? Fuck you.
No.
Sorry, I had to get into that.
I will say, I mean, it's a decent looking frame. It's like they made it light and whatever, but I was upset that they took this like it has been like a thoroughbred cross racing machine, and they just kind of like willy nilly were like, yeah, it's a gravel bike now.
40 mil tires, bunch of rides.
Pathfinders, I haven't tried those yet.
Pathfinder.
Although I have no desire to go back to
Tires.
specialized tires.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Pathfinder is the tire. It's basically a hybrid tire.
Truck and Specialized actually both make very good tires.
I wonder if it's a silver bullet for light gravel performance. That's sorry, I can resist. Hope the guy that wrote that actually listens to this and it's just like, oh,
Silver
God.
bullet.
Takes a sip every time I say it.
Anyway, yeah, I'm glad I got my memory jogged on that one because that one made me madder than it should have. I'll admit
Rage.
that.
Rage.
I liked
I'll
when
admit that.
650B was coming out, like when it was on the offensive against 26. They used to say the tagline back then was all of the benefits, none of the disadvantages.
Oh yeah, I beg to differ.
They would
sir.
try to say it was all the benefits of 29-inch wheels in that they were bigger than 26, but none of the disadvantages in that they were smaller than 29.
Bigger, but not
And
too big.
Because it wouldn't sell stuff to say it's bigger than 26 but smaller than 29, and that's
Yeah.
just what it is.
It's for you in betweeners.
Yeah.
If you
Even
want to
the
be mullets.
size, even the size is a misnomer. They're measuring different things.
Oh God, don't get into this.
He's right.
No, I won't.
Right.
I'm trying.
Well, the total
26
volume is
by
very
1
similar to
3/8
29.
is the ultimate wheel size.
1 and 3/8. Get the hell out of here.
Someday, anybody who's ever worked in a bike shop, just
I
either,
want
like,
27 by 1 1/4.
Immediately, damn it.
Cried or laughed. I don't know which, but yeah, man, nothing like a hot July day. And somebody needs his flat fix now. And it's,
I gotta race in 2
some kind of
hours.
Schwinn. Yeah, it's some kind of Schwinn with a tire you've never seen in your life on it.
Hey, buddy, you're out of luck. You're losing that race
Anyway.
today.
Someone won Paris-Roubaix on a 1x. That's kind of cool.
What a psychopath, too,
The
right?
future.
The
Jesus.
future.
Oh, look at that
Shot
top.
Flight attendant.
Look at that top fuel.
Oh, God.
Yeah, they've had flight attendant, I feel like, brewing for a while, and they finally just
Oh
like
yeah.
blasted it out,
absolutely.
the e-bike guy just rolled his eyes at us.
No, stop it.
right?
RockShox
Riley-
flight attendant. What? What do you want to say?
I've seen K2 do this. I've seen Fox do this. I've seen companies try to do this, like bike manufacturers try to do this. I've seen this no less than, even though I can only rattle off like a few of them by name, no less than half a dozen times since I've been paying attention to
You
bicycles.
think,
what?
you think it's going to be
And
better
it-
this time around?
The electronic suspension, this is going to manage this and that on the fly, blah, 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 blah. It'll change your whole life. You won't even have to pedal anymore. Yeah, da, 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 da. No, it's not going to, I don't know. I'm sorry. I hate to be negative on this one.
Nope.
But
You are not keeping in mind that we are approaching the e-bike singularity, Tom.
Yes, you're right.
Right?
And
And
Go
that
ahead
is
and
where these
explain what that
components
means,
come
yeah.
in. The e-bike singularity?
yeah, just say it. I know.
When the e-bikes
Please.
take over the world?
No,
and
it's
they're
more like when they're
automaton-
indiscernible. Yeah.
Yeah.
When they're
I-
indiscernible from regular bicycles, and at that point, you'll have to accept me. You'll have
Well,
to.
just
Sorry.
so
You'll
what
have
I
to
like
just
about
join me.
for those that don't know,
Ha, ha, ha.
easy to
That's more Connery than a villain. You'll rue the day you crossed me.
You'll
So
join me
flight-
yet.
RockShox flight attendant is like basically axis for your suspension, right? So for your fork and shock, it kind of automatically adjusts rebound and damping based on how you're riding. And I mean, yes, Tom is right. This has been attempted several times. I mean, probably the most basic example is Specialized Brain, right? Where it's a more simple kind of mechanical system that's supposed to keep the suspension firm when you're pedaling and nice and loose when you're descending. That's gone through its whatever iterations. I won't talk about Brain. We've bashed on Specialized enough for today. But next time
You get off easy this right now, Specialized.
We will cease. We will cease and desist.
desist. So Fox was kind of the latest one to do it.
Oh,
Fox
click on it,
had,
click on it, click on it.
what did Fox do? What did they call it, Tom?
It was only in the rear, right?
Fox Live Valve. Nope, they had it for both. For Fox, it required a little bit of just kind of like wired boxes that were wired into your fork and your shock. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It also
They've been trying this
required
a long time.
Foxes required a proprietary frame. Well, not proprietary, but a frame that had a specific mount for their for that shock and for the little box that went with it.
It's called zip ties. Get together. Get it together. Come on.
Only a few companies had frames that would support it. So
Weak.
anyway, now that we have that history, Fox Live Valve was actually pretty well received at the time as far as like performance goes. In general, people liked it for like it was pretty responsive, right? You didn't have to lean down and like switch your levers or whatever. The RockShox Flight Attendant runs off of the same Axis ecosystem that we know and love. So it's the same batteries, same app, same controls if you want those. It's basically so when SRAM bought Quark and ShockWiz several years ago.
I knew they bought ShockWiz. That's hilarious.
Yeah, this is where it was heading. Because this is basically ShockWiz that is integrated with your suspension to be able to control the suspension. Which at the moment, when you think about it, right, it's a pretty big price jump to be able to get this on your bike. So that's a little restrictive. But what I am seeing in this, as well as kind of all of the integration that SRAM has been working on with RockShox and Quark and TireWiz and ShockWiz and Axis, is an ecosystem that works with, say, an e-bike, right?
Yeah.
So
Because the batteries are already present. You know what I mean? Like you can just run off of that.
So
If I
think
could
about. Yep. Go ahead.
I was going to say, if I can put a sidebar here for half a second, part of the reason I'm rolling my eyes and lamenting this is absolutely because of the stone cold fact that I will be buried in these things come May. Or whenever they actually arrive, shipping supply, this is going to be like a tidal wave for me. And I'm just dreading like, oh man, this is so much more stuff I gotta know. Because personally, like I leave my suspension in a setting. I have it on one bike, maybe two, and I leave it in a certain setting and just go. Like I've never been a real techie suspension person.
That's going to be the beauty of this system, though, you just leave it. It's set and forget.
They've said that with every new piece of suspension stuff that's ever come out. I'm serious. Like, I'm sorry, man. I remember last time.
Have you ridden Fox Live Valve?
I'm pulling the card on this one. No,
have you ridden? Yeah, you haven't.
I haven't. Have you?
No, I have not.
Well, then what are you yelling at me?
I wonder if they're going to be honestly.
I mistrial and bike.
I wonder if they're going to be reactive enough. Let me put it this way: like I've all seen the beginnings of tech where it's like this great thing is great, and it just doesn't respond fast enough, or the processing power, just the compute power, just isn't there until a couple generations down the line.
I am more curious about. I'm more curious about battery life. Right.
I got to charge my 3 batteries on my bike now.
That like part of necessary. Think about your vehicle, right? And the computer that is controlling all of the suspension in say a Land Rover, and how that improves its performance, and
Oh,
that's
yeah,
what
no,
this
and,
is heading towards.
I was actually thinking when Ed, you were saying the responsiveness thing, like this has been around.
Yeah.
Even in bicycles, it's that I don't think that's really been an issue the entire time.
Okay.
I'm
'cause I
curious
think
about battery
realistically
life. I will say that.
It's
I mean-
probably just shooting a current into some like ferromagnetic oil that they're using, and it's probably just adjusting like some kind of rebound speed through that on the flat. Like it's probably only zapping electricity into a.
Yeah, I would think it'd be more of like a valving, like it's got like
Maybe.
opening closing
I could
valve
be- I
somewhere.
don't know. I'm sure it's all.
Although it would be cool if it was like magnetic fluid shocks, like Corvettes have, or something like that. You know?
I guess that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah. With the magnet retard, whatever fluid that basically reacts with a current. Ooh, the
sure
shifter
it's,
looks cool though. Look at it.
I'm sure
That's,
it'll
that's
all
the
lay
same
down
as
in the
their.
tech
That's just their
articles I'm
X's
reading
shifter.
today.
I want that.
It is pretty dope.
It looks fucking cool.
So that's I think the thing that I see in this is, yes, this has been done, but it has never been done at this scale where we see
this is here to stay.
where we see this paired with shifting, paired with dropper post, paired with tire pressure, paired with like power meter, everything imaginable on the bike being plugged into one system so that we can maximize the performance of the bike. And that,
I actually got
like,
something to add to this too.
That is really cool to be living in times where we can start seeing, like, basically, I mean, I hate to say it this way, but the carification of bikes, like cars and vehicles and motorcycles, have been at this level for years and years and years. It's awesome to see this level of performance, like, finally getting to bikes. I know it's another thing that can go wrong. I know it's you don't have to have it on your bike, but it's really cool that it exists.
Yeah.
Well,
I want to try it.
Yeah, and if I can add my goofy e-bike thing, a few of my brands actually have apps. Giant and Specialized being the biggest of the two, and probably the best apps out of the two. Basically, if you put one of those quad lock things on your bike, your phone becomes like a mobile command center. You can tune your motor, you can zap your bike updates. You can do GPS. You can do everything a Garmin head unit can do for $300 with no extra charge for buying the bike, and you can guarantee there'll be patches in it for stuff like this.
Yeah, so that is definitely the next step is beyond just being able to see all of this on your phone, having it paired with your Bosch drive unit, right?
Yeah.
So that your drive unit knows how much power you're putting in and how much torque it's giving you, and it knows what pitch you're riding at, and it knows that it should firm up the suspension for this part to maximize your battery life, but it should let it go soft for this part so you can have a nice plush ride. That's where all this is headed.
Realistically, when you say the name Bosch, I think Riley would agree with me that Bosch, if they end up working with SRAM in some way, shape, or form, absolutely is smart enough to be able to get your suspension to react only to you, or excuse me, to not react at all to any input you or the e-bike motor put into this system, and only the stuff that's on the ground. Like, it will actually, for the first time ever, truly succeed at that. Just because of like what Ed was talking about, like refresh rates and like TheraFluid or whatever, you know, this is definitely the birth of it. Like, this is the Skynet just
the
turned
cyborg bike will take
it might
over.
not be thinking for itself yet, but it just turned on.
It's exciting to be kind of like at the gateway of all of this. Like, even the fact that I think, Tom, you and I have talked about this. I might have mentioned it on Lift Talk before. The inflation hub. There's a patent for a hub out there that basically you can adjust your tire pressure on the fly.
Yeah.
I think that exists.
It does. Yep.
Yeah.
That paired with this Tire Whiz stuff, like the possibilities as far as bikes now are kind of getting to the point where they are infinite.
Like all things, cash is the limiting factor.
Oh, yeah, I want a $15,000 enduro e-bike that I can basically go for 50 miles out in the woods. You know,
regulates. Yeah. You could realistically, like, within a few years, if they ever figure out how to get lithium to work well in the colds, like, you could pretty much ride one of these things to the South Pole.
That would be amazing.
You know?
I'm in. Let's go catch some seals.
I mean, we already have Bosch Bosch's drive units can already pair with a few different shifting systems to like automatically shift for you. Like it's kind of nuts where we're at, and I like to see SRAM's kind of one ecosystem that they are making, and I'm like so beyond excited to see like where it goes. I might not. Here's the thing: I might not ever have this on my bike. Like it's not something that I am rushing out to get, but I am excited at the possibilities.
60-year-old Riley's gonna be rummaging through the apocalypse, and he's like, "I remember these." Grabs some, throws them in his backpack for later. You know.
That's the sad part, is the stuff you scoff at in the here and now that ends up becoming like priceless antique stuff.
Yeah.
I've thrown
Shimano
better
Airlines,
stuff-
anyone?
Yeah. I've thrown better stuff away than I'll ever own again, and that's the sad part. But anyway, such is life.
I think
Salivate.
so. I mean, we never closed out Bike Court, but I find in favor of stop labeling your shit with like useless monikers, because that's dumb.
I am a
I am
a light gravel human. I identify as a light gravel human.
You are.
Could I?
Yes, go ahead.
Could I define what my opinion is, my semi-experienced opinion of what
No.
you need to go graveling?
Yes, go ahead.
All right. Appropriate tires.
That's a
Take
good point.
whatever-
Gravel. Okay, gravel specific tires. Let me write this down.
No, I said appropriate tires.
Yeah, gravel
In other
specific.
words,
You said for
If
gravel.
you're gonna do
Light gravel.
what we do around here,
Down
because
country.
what we have around here is not technically gravel. You want literally a hard pack light XC tire. Absolute minimum. That's what you want. You realistically want like I'm even gonna give it in inches, a 1.8 to a 2.3 tire with a fast rolling tread.
Good icon.
I don't care. Yeah, I don't care if it's 29. I don't care if it's 650p. That's up to you.
I do.
Next thing you need is a comfy seat. I'm not talking necessarily like a tractor seat surface thing, but like you don't necessarily need your like just carbon pan with carbon rails on a gravel bike. Like you're gonna be here for a few hours. You know what I mean? Like I sit on C17s. That's not on purpose. I'm not trying to be a Brooks hipster. It's just the one that worked, and it's wide and it's long and it's roomy.
So what you're saying is I should try
Last thing-
a new saddle.
That's what she said.
Yep.
Oh.
Last thing, wide drop bars. You'll appreciate the extra hand positions if nothing else.
I like the ones you have in your
You'll move
Monster.
around more. Yeah, those are PNW Coast, I think it's called.
Shout to PNW.
Coast to coast.
Yeah,
Quality
PNW
shit.
Coast
Go buy
drop
some
bar,
shit.
52 millimeter. That's right, Rhodey. That's a 5 and then a 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's called
You know.
beefy.
Oh
Yeah,
my god!
That's your 42's plus 10.
Somewhere,
A
someone's wife
decimeter.
screams in the distance.
A decimeter, if you will.
A decimeter.
52 cms. Let me see that thing. PNW
She
Coast.
crazy.
Type,
Damn, boy. He's thick.
He's thick, boy. Coast handlebar. Look at that, baby. It's
It's a nice
$69. Nice.
Oh no!
It's
Nice.
and if the reason this ties in with my my appropriate tires comment, it's quite stiff. You'll appreciate the steering accuracy, but if you're running 700 by 35s at 70 pounds, you're gonna have a bad time.
Okay, so here's
I might
here's
copy you
another
on
one
that.
for our
Not gonna lie.
here's another one
Do
for
it up.
our specific components conversation.
Oh, another one you're throwing under the bus? Who's gonna get stomped
Sure.
on now?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, this one is
Don't you dare say gravel specific dropper post
We're
because
gonna get into the flare argument, I bet.
we've made your handle drop bars look like a crazy straw. Good luck,
there
assholes.
are gravel specific droppers. That's fine. Whatever.
It's fine.
I'm trying to find here. Whiskey.
Whiskey.
Release.
Whiskey.
I love
A-
them. Thank you.
What?
I already had some.
Oh, sorry.
I had some Trader Joe's whiskey. Whiskey bars.
So whiskey bike components. The Spano, the
Spano?
Spano handlebar.
Like
let's see if
Jesse
I can share this
Spano?
with you.
Like Jesse Spano?
Um,
Tino
who?
Spumoni.
Spumoni.
Spabagoosh.
Why is our whole tech page on the tech of it? It's a
Okay.
handlebar. Tech is handlebar.
Tech is handlebar. So Whiskey released this Spano drop handlebar the other day, and I was intrigued.
I like the shape of the
It
top.
does look sick, actually, though.
So the way that
Take
they
everything I just
designed
said back.
this, the bar's flat top promotes flex.
Oh, it's
right?
weird.
So basically, like I have some Whiskey handlebars, and they're carbon, like quote unquote gravel handlebars. They have a little bit of flair, but they are stiff. And this one takes it a step further, and just kind of basically the idea is they're giving it that flat top there, so that the hoods and the drops can flex a little more easily, and just kind of take out some of that road chatter.
Flex and break, potentially. No? I mean, it's a gravel bike. You're
Well-
going to be doing some sketchy shit on it, maybe, huh?
Here's the thing, right? We engineered the stiffest possible axle, the stiffest possible fork, the stiffest possible head tube, the stiffest possible stem.
Not true. If it was the axle, it would have been a 15 mil.
I know, but that's what we're shooting
Ooh,
for. Hey, my monsoon's
take.
got a 15.
That's
But
Sucks to suck.
yeah. And if they're really shooting for it, it'd be this old school thing we used to do
The
back
20?
in the day called 20.
20.
But like, why do all that and then have handlebars that flop up and down? Just run the right tire.
This
That's all
is
I'm
not a
saying.
flop up and down handlebar.
It just said in the thing I saw it. You showed it. You highlighted it.
You read it to us.
They're
Yeah,
two different things.
No, it's
Yes.
I wonder if the
Yes.
Flex has any sort
not.
of
Agree.
soft, small bump
No, there is
absorption.
there is an enormous difference between a redshift stem and a handlebar and a material that absorbs road chatter or vibration.
get it.
How much
I
is this
get
thing?
it.
How much is it? Go to buy. Go
You're
to
a
buy.
carbon apologist. I know.
Go to buy. Let me see. I wish our oh, I should have raffled. Holy
280?
shit sauce! I should have raffled off that
$180 for
that
that.
Highland bike pass and then use it to fund this so we could pass this thing around and hoard around ourselves. We should all. No, that's fucking too much. To say,
No offense, whiskey.
if
but
you're
like,
listening to this, throw us some cash.
That's what carbon
So we can-
handlebars are, Tom.
We can buy one and
I
we can all
guess,
use
but
it.
like-
How's that?
My God, mine's $70.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
because it's an aluminum piece of junk.
a big
Yeah, I
difference,
bought
you
the
know.
right tires, and guess what? I had $100 for beer left over.
That's a big difference, you know.
I think.
Although in the bike
Tom,
world,
that
that's not too
there's
much big of a difference.
You could compromise here and otherwise invest that capital. That's all I'm saying.
Or you get higher return somewhere else. I love it.
Yeah, but you just said to get a comfortable seat. Why not get comfortable handlebars too?
Touche.
I mean, on my bike, I bet these things would be a cloud because I did everything else right.
Yeah, there you go. So what's wrong with that?
I don't know. Do I sound arrogant? when I say that?
No.
Probably, huh? I don't know.
Maybe.
I'm really. Hey, I can't stress it enough. I'm telling you, try some big squishy tires on your gravel bike. You won't regret.
That is
it.
important. Yeah.
You won't regret it.
But I will say I was intrigued by this because because you're right, Tom. Like the bouncy handlebars, I can't stand. I
can
haven't
if it's correct.
I kind of want
I
to try one.
haven't ever ridden them like long term, so maybe I'd get used to it. Maybe I'd be totally fine. Maybe I'd love it. But the idea is something that I have not been able to like wrap my head around in a way that makes me comfortable riding it. This is something that I could get behind. Something
Which is
that
funny.
is
Yeah.
a near why?
Well, for me personally, I'd be comfortable only on a 1-inch quill stem, knowing like, yeah, this is going to be flexy as anything.
Really?
Like an old school road bike with a quill stem, like that threaded thing. For those of you who may not know what I'm talking about, you can watch your handlebars move from side to side if you stand up. Like you can see it. It's like a 1/2 inch, which is funny because I think that's normal because of the type of bike it is, and Riley thinks this handlebar is normal, even though it's modern and all.
I would
Engineered-
try it if I didn't have to pay for it.
Yeah.
I'd-
Shout out to
I'd run
Whiskey, our new sponsors. Send us
Yeah.
this handlebar.
Future sponsors whiskey. I mean, it looks.
Otherwise, you'll
pieces.
go the way of the Vittoria and the Specialized. You don't want to be them, do you?
Sierra. At least they named theirs without a changing a letter.
Whiskey makes nice stuff, actually. Like all
They really
jokes
do.
aside.
Yeah.
They really do. It's
I was
just getting a
super-
little spendy. That's all.
Yes, I was super intrigued to see this handlebar, and I would love to
Yeah.
try it. Whiskey.
I wonder if that would help out my wrists.
I actually
My
think,
wrist
I think
injuries.
the ergonomics of it never like aside from the flex thing, something nice I definitely want to say looking at the picture of this thing.
The flat tops, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
like
the-
a nice. It looks like a nice bar. Like it looks.
The
comfy.
ergonomics of this thing are definitely intrigued.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I might hold off for the aluminum version if there is one. But yeah.
I don't think there will be for this one.
I want a flat.
Probably
I want a flat section
Yeah.
top for
Based
my
on the whole design
one of my
philosophy,
bikes.
I'm guessing not.
Yes.
Yeah.
kind of jelly.
Imagine a tie
Ugh.
version. Here's the stupid thing: I'd balk at this, but if it was $400 a tie, I'd want two.
Yeah, you're
I'm
like
just
you're,
so
you're like a
stupid.
Rafa.
I'm all
You're
over
like a
that. Yeah,
hipster Rafa. There you go.
Nah, it's just
It's just of your era
yeah, I know
because your era's carbon sucked ass.
And they use titanium to make the space station. So
My era's carbon was PVC.
Your era's
Ah.
carbon was dog shit.
PVC, PVC section piping conduits.
Right. Well, why foil? Where you at?
I'm interested to try the flat sections of my bars actually now. I want a larger space to put my hands.
Yep.
$280 though. If it was $180, that might be a harder thing. You know?
Yes.
Hmm.
That thing, $200 or less, I'm a player all day.
Yeah. When you kick it up to $300, it's like
$280, man. Woo!
Yeah, I'm curious now. I would like to see their normal drop bar. Let's say the 12 degree.
like I mean when the
Bar
handlebars are
here.
3 times as expensive as like I don't know
Number 9.
a derailleur.
Number
You know what
9
I mean?
doesn't look bad.
230. Yeah, so we're in the same kind of range.
Is that aluminium?
No, that's
Oops.
carbon.
Okay, I was gonna say it better
That's
be.
carbon.
Jesus Christ.
That's carbon. One while we're here, and I know listeners, you've been in the car for like 6 hours now, trying to get through this freaking goddamn podcast.
I know my
This-
phone's dying.
It's dying.
This-
Plug me in.
This handlebar was pretty cool too.
The hell?
Very wacky.
It looks like a turned up
Uh,
mustache. I kind of like it.
Yeah,
Like
that's
when
the
you
idea.
when you twist.
Yeah, $200 for that one. But yeah, big ol' swoopy bar. I thought that one was cool too.
Swoopy.
I don't have a bike that I would put it on, but I thought it was interesting.
Pay like a beach cruiser for
No.
that one. A city
Yeah,
cruiser, you know?
Yeah.
Or like certain mountain bikes, those go really good on.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I'd probably
like a-
flip them upside down.
Yeah.
Which for
This
most
this kind of
bars-
looks
That would be
upside
kinda
down,
cool.
honestly.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool, actually,
Yeah.
flipped, yeah.
Imagine a mustache bar flipped upside down. Like it looks like it's supposed to rise a little bit, except it goes down like Clubman's.
I like
It's
it.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of odd.
I like the spirit.
Anyway,
Shout out to Whiskey, by the way, if you're listening.
Yes.
I just tagged him in a
Shout out.
post.
Send me
Yes.
stuff.
yes.
crossing our fingers
Send us some things, and we will
Send me
not.
things.
We will not cease, and we will not desist.
We will not torture test them, but for real, we'll probably put them
Well,
to their paces.
Stickers and
We will.
t-shirts. I don't need that handlebar. I know it's expensive.
I need both
Everybody wants stickers and t-shirts, baby.
and a
Stickers and
handlebar.
t-shirts.
It's the easiest way to get me to do anything.
The universal language. Stickers and t-shirts.
Are we? Is that everything now? Are we?
That was,
we've
that
covered
was
it?
a
about-
good hangover
I don't know,
I
episode.
think we're about there.
I feel pretty good.
Oh, those are kind of
Millhouse.
sick, actually.
Yeah,
Millhouse.
yeah.
Ah,
Also carbon, I
no.
believe.
How
Yeah.
much?
225.
Oh, that's not bad. Well, I see what happens when I like
Did
Did
one.
you hear him? Did you hear him? Did you hear him?
Ah,
That's not that bad. Oh,
that's not that bad.
it's only
And you know,
$60
the other-
less.
The other part that helped is that I showed you the $280 one first.
He's been conditioned, folks. That's how you do it right there. Boom. You shock him.
Uh,
You price shock him, and then you bring it
Has
back.
corrupted
You
you.
bring it home.
I think we're done there.
Ugh, I need to get out and ride again.
We've doled out our judgment. Tom's phone is dying.
Shout to Dangle Supply Company. Yeah. Dangle in the house. Come sponsor us and send us free gear too, by the way.
Ooh.
Yeah, this was a good episode.
Hopefully you enjoyed this rambling, meandering hangover of an episode.
Ugh, I was a sleepy boy. I was a sleepy boy tonight. I was tired.
I
The
was
detox and the
too.
retox.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. There's a lot of. I will admit
Toxicity
there was a lot of
flying around.
toxicity here, and most of it was from me.
And me.
Vitriol.
is-
Straight vitriol.
We are the
yes.
bike drums.
That is what Bike Court is designed
say, that's
for,
kind-
is toxicity.
It's kind of the shtick, right?
That's the shtick.
Yeah.
I think people like toxicity, right?
No regrets, no excuses.
In this day and age,
I like
Yeah,
that. I like
it's-
Surge. It was a good. I mean, I don't know what he's done lately, but I like that song. Toxicity. Yeah, it was a
do you
good
know there's a
job.
recording floating around out there of him doing Reigns of Castamere? I feel like I bring this song up.
Really?
every episode. I don't know why. It just always comes up. I
I
believe
mean,
so.
it's a great point in an epic
That
series
should be
that
our
got
that
ruined.
should be our
Probably why.
outro.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah,
And
we
that
get
is our outro.
HBO would be up our assholes so fast. Reigns of play Alexa, play Reigns of Castamere. Writing that down to actually see if we can dub it over that and get copyright struck.
We're gonna get DMCA'd.
Oh yeah, fucking that won't be the first time. Put it that way.
So I guess, yeah. Close us out, Ed.
Basically, thanks for everybody for showing up. Thanks for a huge shout to Mike for putting on Crosstobeerfest.
You done did good, Mike.
It was fucking amazing.
Good. Yep.
Keep it up. We'll see you out there again. I promise I'll buy some more endurance gear. Just all I needed was socks though. But yeah, have a good night.
That hoodie's
guys.
looking pretty sweet. New
Oof.
hoodie on the site.
What
Check it
color?
out.
I like the gray.
Yeah, it's like it's nice looking. It really
Yeah.
is. It's like a grayish. Yeah.
Mike,
You'll like
if you need a body model, let me know. I do I offer hourly rates. Sounds weird, but yeah.
Hourly rates.
Um,
Wow.
Let's try to get this again. Let's try to do like something closer. Let's try to do next week. How's that?
Sure.
Yeah, something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
All right, cool. Get a little bit more kind of going. You know. It's gonna
Yeah,
be
we'll-
getting cold soon. We're not
We'll
gonna
be
probably
back
liking
with you
as
guys
much.
shortly.
Yeah,
He has been Ed.
I've been Ed.
He has been Tom,
He has been Tom.
and I have been Lift Man.
Lift man. He is Riley. His name
is the Lift man.
His name
I
is
am the
Robert
Lift
Paulson.
man.
His name.
I am
Was
not
Robert Paulson.
I am not Robert Paulson.
Cue the outro. Just Meatloaf in that movie. It was kind of funny.
Wait, Tom, you want to sing the song that you wanted to be the outro?
What was the song?
Reigns of Castamere. Just go for it.
Oh no, I'm good. I'm good.
I mean, I don't know if they can copyright strike us if we do it like vocally. You know.
No,
They can.
We're good.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Bye. All right, cool. There we go.
Recording
Stop
stopped.
Look at that.
Maybe it
Nice
was
The
Maybe
voice.
it was the
recording
camera.
has stopped.
I wonder if
Sweet.
it was the camera that shredded my phone this time more than the others.
Oh,
The battery,
absolutely.
yeah, probably.
Camera, the
Yeah.
video streamed like murders it.
Yeah.
Murders it.
Yeah,
Especially
it's a
using
lot of
like
data.
let me use the full network connection and my screen at brightness and my mic. You know,
Yeah.
it's like kill me, just strangle me already.
Yeah, me.
No, this old iPhone 8 is really starting to show her age. Oh, wow.
Oh, she's still kicking. We need like an iPhone
Still
8.
kicking.
We're at like iPhone 18, man. Also,
I know.
Riley, Pixel 6, by the way. Pixel
Yeah, but
6, by the way.
I just got mine repaired.
Pixel 6, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
I like
$1 million
this one. This
fucking
one's
dollars, but yeah. Oh, you got your 4A
I thought it
back.
was like $600. Yeah, I did.
Look at you. Oh yeah, 4A crew.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a nice little phone,
I'll put this together.
and it's only like $400. What more do you want?
Yeah, I want that new camera though, so I can take cooler
Yeah,
bike
yeah.
photos.
I
Yeah.
can't even
No.
do. But this camera's so good as it is.
Yeah, it's
I'm gonna get a
true.
fucking GoPro. That's my next move.
No, GoPro sucks.
GoPros are.
I know, but
I've been using mine. It's,
I need
it's pretty
video.
good. It's pretty good, man.
GoPro sucks.
I need
Their
video.
stock is in the trash. They're like trading at like $2 a share.
Yeah, but the next step
Riley
is clearly
trades.
video.
Riley day
right
trades.
trades.
Have you
Trades.
have you looked into options, my friend?
Have you
Please
looked
don't.
at options?
I like my GoPro, although I'm too lazy to edit the videos it makes. I literally have like 20 gigs of footage that I've taken that I've never done anything
I
with.
still need to do the sock video. We need to do an
Holy
apparel episode.
shit, we
And
should.
we need to do that sock video because
We
we
need to
have all the
release that.
footage. I just need to do that.
I have a crash compilation I was starting to make of all my crashes, which was numerous, but I basically got off track and have to start completely over. So it's gonna be like when I'm old, I want to get like a gigantic edit of all of my wrecks.
That's actually pretty dope.
Actually, I have the wreck that destroyed me at fucking ESC. That I
Do you really?
oh my god, I gotta post that up. I literally hit this friggin' rock roll perfectly fine in front of people the day before, and I was like, sweet, nailed it without anybody there. And then I roll up to it in the race, and I'm like looking ahead, like past the obstacle,
Yeah.
basically. And I just fucking ate shit out of nowhere, and I was like, oh, thank God,
I got
no one has ever seen that shit.
I got away with so many of those this
Oh.
year.
Oh, so I just
like-
get like so ahead of myself sometimes, and I'm like, I don't focus on the thing in front of me. I'm like, I already done it. It's not a big deal, you know. Meanwhile, it's like a 20-foot fucking
yeah.
roll. I gotta post that
It's
shit.
just like little drops into nothing.
What are you eating?
You know what
Candy?
I mean?
What do you got? The fuck you eating?
Me?
Who, me?
Riley, yeah, you eat some candy, Halloween candy?
I'm still going through my pizza.
Oh, you had pizza?
Yeah, what kind of pizza's that? Where's that?
Fuck, where'd you get it from?
It's like Pizzoni's. Got it at the shop.
Well, Pazzonis,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah, but you
Pizzonis.
work in like fucking Providence, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you gotta
Yeah,
check
it's
out.
Probably pretty damn good.
Have you been to
Probably not.
Tallulah's?
Yes.
No, but I have had.
Oh, it's so
Yeah,
fucking good.
We've because it's like right down the street from us, I think.
Yeah, it is. I trust me, I know it is.
Yeah. So yeah, we've gotten it for lunch once or
Oof,
twice.
it's fucking fire.
Nice.
Yeah, put that away.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's a food mecca down there.
I need to ride anywhere else but this place soon. I'm gonna go on the bike path, I think, for once. It's been like
You want to
months.
ride? You want to ride Copacut Woods tomorrow morning?
Absolutely not. I'm gonna work tomorrow morning.
Isn't it like Friday?
Wait,
Yeah.
it is Friday. Holy shit.
What time do you work?
Got
Who?
Friday off. Who, me?
You. Right.
I've got Fridays off, bro.
Oh, what a
Oh,
fucking
that's why.
sweet
Oh,
rig. That's a nice way to do it.
Yeah.
I'm considering this place to be like, hey, I only want to work 4 days a week. I don't even give a shit if you adjust my salary based on that shit. I just don't care that much about any job for more than my life hours, you know? Like,
Yep.
even rich people
I
can't
certainly
buy
do.
more time. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
No matter how many dentists and a specialized think they can get younger by buying a bike, it ain't happening, you know?
And
I can't help but dunk on them these days.